This is so good, man.
Oh, the last time I had licor de café.
Oh, wow,
Just
that's
brings
good.
back memories.
You know what it reminds me of? Those fucking reposadas de café que se ven nas
Those things
padarias.
are so fucking good, dude.
The last time I ever had this was when I moved to Portugal 3 years ago. And the day I got there, let's go to Spain, right? And every other drink was a shot de licor de café and a casi con Coca-Cola. After like 3 or 4 hours, it was just
You're all set.
Dude, that's nice.
You're all set. Well,
yeah, just get a little closer to the mic when you talk. Yeah, but you're good.
Well,
I'm not used to this.
Welcome back.
Not anymore.
Bem-vindo. Tasca Lusa, another episode. Joey's not here. He had his girlfriend's graduation, which
Congratulations, Kathy.
Congratulations.
To graduating with your master's, I think. God bless you for going back to school, because once I got my bachelor's, I was done. Didn't want to deal with that bullshit.
I mean, you're barely passed. Those math classes were rough for you.
I fucking failed math a couple times, but it's all right. So we're here with Joel, and we have a special guest, our good friend Andre. Man, I remember when he was DJing on fucking Insta and Facebook, just fucking
Mixcloud. Yeah, I think dude, he had a couple like places.
He had a couple bangers.
Yeah, why did it?
We want to invite him just because his influence in the Portuguese community now. Just bounce off a couple questions and stuff like that, and see what the future holds. But first, as we always do, we're gonna talk about sports and.
We're gonna talk about the league, but most importantly, we're going to talk about Sporting.
Fucking love this goddamn club, goddamn it.
Yeah, a month ago he was saying that if he was going to quit.
But I was saying that if Sporting fucking blew this fucking lead that we had, I was going to stop being Sporting.
I can't be politically affiliated. Por isso sou dos Chaves.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
May. Hopefully they get him to the first league, but Sporting won the Campeonato, man. Me and Joan were watching it at his house, and when we won the final whistle, bro, I was just so in shock.
You had that one tear, dude. When I hugged you, dude, we were hugging so tight. I'm pretty sure I cracked your back.
Oh, it felt nice, but dude, I would have never thought that I would have been alive to see Portugal win a major competition or Sporting win a league. Would have never thought I was going to see the day.
Would have been alive for both.
It was been alive
for both. And I've seen both, and dude, I can die a happy man because. It was just like I was just so in shock. I just sat there and I was like, dude, holy shit, we actually won, dude.
Hopefully it's like one of many.
We won.
It was time. I think watching Benfica and Porto every other year battle it out.
I just think it changes the game just for the league itself. It's good competition now, and like
I have a reason to celebrate. Meu padrinho é sportinguista, and he's the only one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Minha mãe é portista e meu pai é benfiquista, mas eu sou dos Chaves. That's it. You know what I mean?
I'm Chaves too, man. So hopefully they make it to the Primeira Liga.
Who knows? They were already there.
I don't think it's going to happen this year, but hey, good luck next season.
The Champions League final got pushed to Porto for the Estádio Dragão. I don't really like what Pinto Costa said. He said that he said like he wants to organize the events and stuff leading up to the final and all that in a proper way, and not, like he said, não como o vergonha que passou 2 dias antes in Lisboa. I'm like, fuck that dude. I'm sorry for my cursing, but fuck that dude. If it was Porto that won the league, they would have been fucking partying up in Porto and all that bullshit. So whatever.
So like we've actually seen both sides of the story, and some people are against it, some people are for it. My thing is, Sporting hasn't won in 19 years. Nice. We honestly were expecting that. If you weren't expecting all the fans going together and stuff like that, like shit, I wish I was there. I would have joined right in. And
me too, man.
And let's be honest, people talk about how there's no social distancing or anything, but over 70% of people over there were actually wearing masks.
Yeah,
but no one talks about that because Portuguese news and news all over the world, they only know how to aim for the bad news because that's what people intrigued on.
Yeah, that's what gets views, and
so
that's what people's in.
Wait till Wednesday.
You know what, dude? It felt good seeing that. Yeah. People are gonna hate me for this, but it felt good seeing some normality.
Some fans. We haven't seen fans.
Not just normality of what the world used to be once before COVID. like that felt good. I'm having chills right now talking about it. You could actually freaking see my cabelos coming up.
É porque não pusemos o aquecimento.
Nah, it's okay. Eu gosto do frio. But like, if the normality of having that body heat of people chanting for your team and just being together and being happy. Dude, I saw a video. It was this young kid. He must have had like 18 years old. Estava de joelhos a rezar e a agradecer a Deus por o Sporting ser campeão. Vai a GNR e a Bófia por trás, chega ali e dá um pontapé nas costas, o rapaz. Sem não valia a pena. É uma estupidez. Mas pronto, graças a Deus o Sporting foi campeão. Vamos ver o que é que acontece para o ONU, que vai haver muitas competições, Champions League, taça, supertaça, etc. Eles têm que mesmo ir em frente e vamos ver se vai ter mais competição mesmo na própria liga, e não só entre os 3 ou os 4 agora.
It's still 3.
Yeah, now it is, especially with the Braga going down the hill. In these past couple of games. It's rough.
I wish Braga had won. I don't know why. I would just love to see. They've been hanging around the top 4 for so long.
Braga is just like Sporting. They're the underdogs. That's what
Braga still hasn't. I saw a meme. It was one of our players. He's 16 years old, and he goes, Dario whatever his last name is, has 1 campeonato, and then it says Braga and 100 anos, the like being a club, 0.
It's all right. We should see. My thing is, we shouldn't be talking about that because it's been.
I don't care.
So, Zé, Joey's father.
If you didn't check out the last episode, check it out. It's by what is it?
O Pai da Criança.
O Pai da Criança. It's on YouTube. Follow us, Tasca Lusa, like it. Go watch it. It's a very, very, probably my favorite episode to the date. You guys will just love it. We talked about 25 de Abril, everything. It was amazing. It's amazing.
Zé was actually talking about Sporting not being champions before another 19 years, and that happened within the 80s until 90.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
So I actually did my homework. Yeah, that was around the timeline. But enough about sports, honestly. We're just happy that Sporting was champions, and we'll go for the real thing.
Dude,
they're doing a party here next week. I think it was the quickest. I think it was the quickest party I've ever seen organized anywhere.
Hell yeah!
As soon as they won the Núcleo do Sporting that's here at the club, they came up to me, André, dia 23.
We need
I
it.
said, what's dia 23? Vamos fazer festa. Fomos campeões. So they're going to be doing like a whole thing in the back with frangos and febras.
Dude, that's what's up.
Yeah?
That's what I'm talking about.
So you guys want to come and celebrate with them?
Say less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know like you got to have Benfica club, but I know even Danbury has a little thing for Sporting as well, which you just said it.
Yeah. So there's the Casa do Benfica, there's the Núcleo do Sporting, which is here, and there's also a group for Porto, but they're not as active because there's just not as many people as there used to be. But hopefully one day they can all start getting a lot of people kind of involved, you know, without the
So the Sporting one is an organization run by the club, or they made their own thing and they're associated with the club?
Exactly. So they have their own thing. I think they're even going to Portugal now to present the list of, you know, the presidency and all that stuff that they go
that's
through.
nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
they have their own board. So it's like all the Casas Benfica. They're also
because like Jersey has the Denza Lions. They actually just someone was like, "Oh, you should join." I actually ended up joining. I see notifications day by day, and I ended up inviting him as well. And they did a huge party at Casa dos Pescadores and everything, which was awesome. Like I saw pictures. Even like people went to New York to celebrate Sporting. People went to like all over the freaking world celebrating.
Dude, everybody was happy.
It was so heartwarming for me.
It was nice. It was nice because
every year you see Benfica,
Viva Sporting,
and you guys are just kind of there.
All you see is because now you saw like ESPN was talking about it, and like Barstool was talking about it, and all the like these other like social media profiles were talking about it. And usually they don't say anything about like the Portuguese league, who gives a shit, but they said it. We're champions, so hopefully next year we have a good year too, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Moving right along. So we're gonna start asking. Okay, here we go. So, Andre, before just because I don't really know you, João was the one that kind of knows you more from.
Yeah. So
we all know each other from Emmaus.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Well, I was never.
Well, you never.
I never did it.
But even that whole group, because I remember after we went on Emmaus, I remember that I had met you not just from the parties here, like Santo Cristo and stuff, but Rancho, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Rancho and all that stuff.
Rancho just seems to be something that everybody brings together.
Dude,
honestly.
I'm telling you, I can't wait until all this goes away because there's so many people in our age group that are dying to get back involved, and it's like
Absolutely.
once everything picks back up, I think it's gonna change a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so
Hopefully.
a lot of you probably don't know what Emmaus is. It's honestly a Catholic retreat that the diocese of the Portuguese community here in Connecticut they have built, and normally every year they actually do in different parish. So normally it's in between Danbury, Bridgeport, Hartford, and Waterbury. I actually had the pleasure to meet Andre at Emmaus 27, which was run by Waterbury, and we've been friends since. I mean, I haven't seen Andre in a very long time, and just recently we just got back to like seeing each other, which reminds me when earlier before we started recording, you actually asked what was the idea of when we started. So y'all started technically to you in a way because
Why?
you actually invited Joey on to coming to play concertina over here.
Right.
So that day was also the day that Sporting and Porto played, which we went to a Benfica club here in Danbury to eat and
Before
didn't
you
watch the
guys
game
came here.
before we came here. So that day, if you were never to invite him, we would have never come here.
That's
and
crazy.
then if we didn't go to the actually Casa de Benfica, we would have never talked about sports or anything as good time old friends. And through that, he gave us the idea. He gave me the idea of texting Joey, and then Joey even said, "Oh, let's bring Marco together."
I was only brought in after the fact that they like, oh yeah, let's do a podcast. Yeah, let's bring
invite Marco too.
Yeah,
So
fuck it. Yeah, fuck him.
It got to the point that we just. Then I created a group chat. We're like, "Hey, Marco, we want you in." So,
Dude, that's crazy.
And from there, like, it was literally that day that brought to my head, "Yo, you know what? Let's do a podcast. Let's entertain people in a way where they could hear our stories and others, and possibly themselves coming into here, because everybody that does come to the States and does immigrate to a different country, like, they have their own story, and it could be a little different. It could be rougher. It could be nicer. There's happy endings, and we just want to hear those stories. Honestly, it's
like how if you watch or listen to the last episode with Joey's dad, dude, it's incredible the stories that he was telling us when he was in Portugal in the army, when the other 25 de Abril happened, what was happening, what he was doing stationed there, and dude, just getting different perspectives on people's lives is just like, because you have one perspective on something and then somebody else can have the complete opposite, and it's like it's fascinating how we all live in like a whole, like in a same place type of thing, in the same world, but like people view things just so like, it's not black and it's literally black and white. You see it one way, then they just see it like completely different. And
absolutely,
it's interesting to see like how people think and stuff like that.
I still think it's bigger than that. I mean, that to me, that was like a shock. I never expected to hear that. I never expected to hear that you guys said that, like, because of that day. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to you, man. You started this. Well, you gave us the idea.
I think you guys would eventually still end up doing
you initiated for us to come here, and that was nice.
This guy. Listen, I told you guys the first time, and I still say it. I'm going to support every way I can with this, because still, it's not just, and I know you were saying that, you know, you guys are kind of doing this as a hobby. There's no one else that's taken that initiative of reaching out to like the older crowd in a way, and the younger crowd, and a lot of the younger crowd that isn't growing up like we grew up, you know what I mean, where we had the privilege of going to Portugal every summer and stuff like that, but know that they're Portuguese and want to get involved.
It's been 15 for me.
15 years.
15 years since I've been to the motherland. And honestly, these podcasts make me do. Sometimes I do feel homesick, but at the same time, I live a little bit through them. Yeah, which is awesome.
I don't think I haven't been to Portugal. I think 2015, 6 years.
Yeah.
I wish I could go every year,
listen,
but you
I
know,
haven't been in 3 years, and I was there for 3 months, and it's not enough.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
So I wanted to ask, what really got you into like DJing? Like, what made you want to like be a DJ?
So the whole DJ thing started. I was 13, maybe, when I first started getting involved, working on stuff at home. You guys know I was doing all the music stuff, and I still do as a hobby, but I stepped away a little bit away from it after a few years ago. Just, you know, it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
And I still love doing it, but as a hobby. And so when, I guess, in school, I saw that there was nothing that I really wanted to do, that's when I started saying, I think I'm going to do music.
Let's pursue the music and stuff like that.
And, I mean, you know, I know you weren't around as much, but he saw, like, for 10 years, I did everything I could to just get involved.
And I know it was like a struggle for you as well. Like, I want to say, yeah, it was a struggle, but because it's initiating it to a pattern on like where I could go with it.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like it's a little bit of a disadvantage. Do you think it's like being Portuguese and not being like towards the, not being towards like the American side where people know of your name, or maybe not even like.
You want to know the irony of that? So one time, I had gone to Portugal in like 2016, and I had handed out cards and stickers and stuff there, right? And then I came back, and I had an email from a lady from like Las Vegas or something, and she goes,
Hell yeah.
and at that point, I was really desperate. I was like, damn, this needs to happen. This needs to happen. And it never really got to what I wanted it to be. It's never too late. But so she sent me an email, and she was like, oh, I found your contact information in Portugal, and we're looking for 3 DJs to come and play for a weekend, whatever. I said, oh, me on Facebook, I was like, or on email or whatever, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to write to her in English, and I'm going to tell her, actually, it's even better because I live in New York and I'm a U.S. citizen, and you don't have to go through all the trouble, right?
Yeah.
They shut me down because I wasn't from Europe.
Well,
yeah,
because I know like
they told me, oh, well, we're looking for DJs from overseas.
Oh, you should have told them that.
And then when I went to Portugal to
dual
play,
citizenship,
dude, when I went to Portugal to go play in Montalegre, right?
Yeah, Montalegre, baby.
Dude, when I went to go play, the guy that owns, my buddy Pedro that owns the pub, he goes, speak in English. And I go, why? He goes, because they want to see an American DJ. They don't want to see a Portuguese DJ. They want to see an American DJ.
Which is weird, because like, I know in Portugal that eles têm o curso para ser DJ. Like, tu tens que ir, para ser DJ em Portugal, tens que ir por a escola, tens que fazer o curso de DJ para ires a algum lado.
Even
and over here, you don't need any of that. You know what? You grab a mixer and faz a chicka. But you do need money.
Yeah.
You do need money. So like that's the thing. Is it about the talent, or is it about who you know?
I think in that industry it's about who you know.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of opportunities that never went through, and I felt like I knew the right people, but I don't know what happened with some of those opportunities. And some were local, some were outside of here. But again, in Portugal was because of who I knew. But there's so many people doing it now.
Yeah,
that's kind of one. That's kind of one of the things that turned me away from it.
Especially with, sorry to cut you off, but especially now with TikTok. TikTok, you're scrolling, and then out of the 100 times that you really scroll, you're gonna get at least 2 type of TikToks. You're gonna get hey, you've been watching TikTok for too much, lay it off and come back tomorrow. Or you're gonna get at least 10 TikToks that are, at least I do, of DJs doing mixings, doing everything to put themselves out there. And like, I feel like that's very powerful now, which is social media when it comes to like producing yourself. And like, I mean, we know ourselves because we're trying to produce our podcast to go overseas or to go overstage where people could actually listen and enjoy ourselves. So I feel like social media now, it's a big thing when it comes to like
it's a grind. Like, it's like going to the casino. If you're really good at poker, you have a better chance at winning at the casino, right?
True, yeah.
But if you're like the other 90% that go to the casino,
I have no idea what they're doing.
you're not going to win any money. You're going
Right.
to lose money. So
Absolutely.
what happened with me was, even though I felt like I knew enough, there was always that money factor. I mean, it's a business. You have to sell yourself like a product. And then you have to, not just know people, but you have to really, really lose yourself in it. And you have to like go and really like spend. It's a grind. And actually, it's funny that you guys bring this up. I didn't know you guys were going to ask me that, because I was actually, over the past few weeks, I learned something about, especially with being president here. We don't get paid. We don't do any kind of
It's volunteering work.
It's all volunteer, and we spend a lot of hours here, and I love it. And that's what I noticed. I said, I love that I don't get paid, and I have the privilege of being here every day, doing what we're trying to do, and make it better, and keep it open, and keep bringing new ideas in. And then it brought me back to the music thing, where I was like, it's so easy. I almost feel like I'm throwing away something by not going after it. Where I'm like, I have this skill with what I learned and what I went to school for after with the engineering stuff, and I'm like, I'm kind of sitting here throwing it away. So honestly, I have been in the past few weeks thinking about, especially this whole pandemic thing, like thinking about getting back into trying to make it something, but more along like opening a recording studio or something like that.
Yeah.
The DJ thing is like,
You have the space here.
Yeah.
I'm saying you have a lot of space as
I
well.
know.
Well, here's
I
different.
know a lot of hunches that want to record CDs. I'm just saying.
Well, listen.
Cough, cough, us.
Listen, if you guys want to do that stuff, I think even bringing it involved in here, like my goal is to one day be able to, open a recording studio somewhere in town or something like that, and then still be able to, like, we've talked about this actually. Once the parties start coming back, we can have some kind of a station or something in a space down here that's not being used. Again, it all depends on how long they
like
keep
a radio
us,
station,
Right.
It all depends on how long they keep us around for. Some kind of something where when these artists start coming back from Portugal eventually, or some of the Brazilian artists that come and do the shows here, you want to be able to bring them downstairs and be like, you want to come and see our studio? You know what I mean? And you never know what's going to come out of it. Obviously,
knows?
It's...
And believe it or not, we have a lot of talented people in our community.
Yeah.
The ones that shy away for even trying because of the fact that they don't know if they're going to make it.
Yeah.
So that could be like a door opening to say, hey, podes vir aqui, podes gravar uma música. Se gostares, gostas. Se não gostares, paciência.
Oh yeah, and it's also like, and it's also the kind of thing like what I was just telling you guys. Like I know you guys drove for about an hour, right? An hour and a half, an hour,
45,
something like that. 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's so rápido, cara.
Dude, he's a speedster over there.
Quem vai sempre em...
É sempre na quinta. É sempre na quinta.
But I told you guys, I was like, listen, this is awesome, and I think that because we have the space, why not you guys
Put it
be
to good
able to
use.
do stuff like this? If you guys ever have a show where you're meeting somebody from, Austining or something like that, and you want to meet halfay instead of having to drive all the way. Well, I know you drive all the way down anyway. You go down there every day, so it's like I don't know why you didn't move there yet, but like just offering that opportunity, because it's going to be our age group that's going to be able to keep this running, because you know what I mean. The older generation, as much as sometimes they want to, the energy's not the same, and they can't do more than what they've done already. So now it's us. This kind of led to what we're doing here. But it's funny that you asked that about the DJing, because it's like damn, I think
and
about
that brings
15
up
years ago.
and that brings up to another question that I had. So like, you obviously did DJing here, and
Yeah, I've done a
you
couple
saw
times.
that it wasn't working out, and then one moment to another, I remember you were like, "Yeah, I'm going to Portugal." And then I saw a picture. I was in my head. I'm like, yeah, no way, dude. This dude is not going to stay there. And then all of a sudden, you sent a picture on Facebook, and you were there. And I was like, what the hell?
I picked up.
What was the reason, like, for like going to Portugal? Was it just like state of mind, or was it like you want to try?
We go there in the summer. It's nice. It's fun. You love it, right? It's like
Vacation,
the best thing in the
yeah.
world. At that time, what was I doing? I was trying with the music stuff. I had gone through some like really tough patches. And then I don't remember where I was working, but I remember I just wasn't happy. I was like, I'm tired of doing the same thing. Like this just isn't like getting anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a routine I didn't like. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, yo, I think I'm just gonna try it now. I'm just gonna bounce. I'm just gonna sell everything and go. So, eu meio doido da cabeça. When was it? It was in like February. I said I'm out. I told my parents, I was like, I'm going. Like, you know, they were like, oh, you're gonna come back. I'm like, no, I'm out. Like I'm
peace
gone.
out,
Yeah, that's it. I sold everything. I sold everything I had with music, all my equipment, everything. I sold all my computers. I sold, except my laptop. I sold everything.
Wow.
And the only thing I didn't sell was my car, because I still owed on the car, but my father was using the car when he was here, when he stayed, and I left. And then I got there. Everything was fun for 3 months. And then up until the last day, actually, this is a really funny story, which I think you guys will kind of like, because it leads into how I ended up here. I got to at that time I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I was just there. I had DJ'd for a month there. I did the Camino de Santiago and all that stuff, and it was fun. Like, it was a fun 3 months. Then in like August, when I really started looking for work, there was work, but it wasn't what I thought it was. I was like, damn. You start thinking about it. You're like, you're young. You can still go there. Everyone kind of talked to me into the same thing. They were just kind of like, you're out of your mind. What you make in a week there, you make in a month here. You're never going to be able to save up and do anything here.
The other way around.
Yeah, kind of the other way around. But again, it all comes back down to perspectives. Yeah. So eventually then I felt at the end of August, I remember I left. My buddies were here. They went there to visit me for a week. Well, they went on a trip for a week and they stayed with me for a week. They left on September 2nd. My ticket was for September 4th. And I saw them, and I said goodbye to them. I was like, I don't know when I'm going to go back. 2 days before I was coming back. Because I had booked a round trip ticket just in case. What I should have done was book one way.
When they went, you already had decided to come back.
No. I didn't know I was going to come back until the same night that I had my ticket booked for leaving the next morning. On September 3rd, I went for like a long ass walk in Lisbon, dude. Like, I walked for like 8 hours. And it just came to me, it was like, I felt something tell me, I know you want to stay here, but I need you there. And to this day, I will never forget that feeling. And
it was like a God's calling type of thing.
I don't know, maybe, because I came back and I went through just the shittiest pattern. Like, I came back, dude, and it was horrible. I came back, a buddy of mine opened a restaurant. I went through some bad times with that restaurant, and then I went to another restaurant. And I didn't want to work in restaurants. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't like this. I had anxiety. I never wanted to work as a bartender, ever. And they put me in the bar because they didn't have a bartender.
Jesus.
I had to learn. I went through like just this dude, I felt like I was being put to get rid of the things about me that I didn't want to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, I was being put on the spot.
Yeah.
I worked at a country club. I worked at a couple restaurants before that. Then when I decided to leave the country club, I didn't know where to go. I was applying. I couldn't find jobs. And then actually one of the girls, Cherie, was like, oh, why don't you, because she had messaged me randomly one day. She goes, hey, how you doing? How's everything? How are things? People didn't know I was back. People didn't know I was back till like 4 months or 5 months later. Like, there were people still asking me, like, oh, how's Portugal? I'm like, like, you're back to visit?
That was literally me when we last saw
just
you.
mad low key. I got off of everything. Like, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm looking to come back to work, closer to home. I just want to keep it low key. And she goes, oh, well, the club's looking for, I had worked here 10 years ago, but I only worked for like 6 months. And I was like, all right, I'll go to the club. Why not? I mean, I haven't been there. I hadn't been here in forever, dude. I didn't even know what was going on here. Then the pandemic hit. They had made me bar manager, the old board, and everything was going pretty well. I was doing 2 jobs. I was working here and, bouncing around at other places. And then when the pandemic hit, I I got chosen to stay here. They were like, "Oh, we need somebody to do the takeout orders. We're just gonna stay open for takeout." Dude, if it wasn't for my online classes, it was boring as shit. Like, we'd have like 6 people come in a day, except for like Mother's Day and Father's Day and Easter, where there are people that actually came to get food. And so when the other board, and again, I had never been involved in any of the politics and stuff. When the other board, decided, because they had been here 3 years, that they just couldn't, they were just burnt out. That same feeling from 3 years ago came back. And something kept bothering me every damn day. Like, oh, you should run. And I kept thinking, I'm out of my mind. That's maluco, okay? I'm not getting involved in that shit. Like, it was 3 or 4 months before. I was like, I'm not doing this. Until the point where I just felt like I needed to talk to somebody. So I talked to somebody from here, and I didn't tell anybody on the board or anything because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't want to just open my mouth to anybody and say. So I talked to somebody who was like, really, involved in the history of the club and stuff. And we sat down for like 2 hours. There was nobody in the bar. And I just put it all out there. I was like, look, this is what I see. I don't think I can, I don't know why, but I don't think I can imagine this place closing because I grew up in this building. I was the worst one, dude. Like, este é o meu castigo das coisas todas que eu fiz. You know what I mean? And so when the time came to like announce that I was going to run and it didn't feel real, and then I won, again, there was nobody else to come in. And, some things we weren't prepared on and other things I felt like we could really make a difference in. And seeing it now, I knew that day when I came back and after winning, I was like, now I understand why, as much as I wanted to stay there, I couldn't. You know what I mean? And it sucks. Like, dude, there's days where you're just like, even this past week, I was just like, yo, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's all this stuff to plan for. There's all this stuff going on. There's all this stuff. But somehow we get through it, And that's not...
And that's where he comes with, like, having a good team to support you. And, like, the community, people... Sometimes it sucks because everybody goes to the president and everybody goes to the president. But behind the president, there's a whole community where those are your pillars. They literally are the ones that will be like, hey, we should do this. What do you think of it? And unfortunately, they don't get enough credit. So to your community and to you, good job on so far what you have done.
Bro.
Now,
look at that, 2 presidents.
The way
who would have thought 2 presidents on this table?
The way you were saying it. Now, did the club have, or was it on the urge of like ending at all, or?
It's not that it's been on the urge of ending. It's just, it's a lot of work if you don't have time. I mean, you guys know it. It's like,
because this is the 3rd biggest club in Portuguese club in the world.
Yeah, and it's like, what's insane is like, and I think that's what pushed me to like try, because I was like, it's a shame that there's so much that this building can offer and it's just not being done. But it's not because nobody wants it to happen. It's just because of how much time it takes to do it. And if you don't have people that have the time to do it, it sucks. It's like, and I get it. Now I get it from a different perspective. Like, the other, people who were involved might not have had as much time, and sometimes it makes it difficult to get certain things done. And I'm lucky that I have a board that, in the time that we're in, to have said yes, either they're just as crazy as I am or they're just as committed. Because it's like, you have to have some big balls, bro, to like, not me, but them. You have to have some big balls to like not know somebody, because I knew everyone on my board, but not well enough to like convince them. And for them to be able to say like, yeah, I'll be involved. I was like, damn. Because we also, our board formed last minute. 2 days before the election, I was missing 2 people. And the last person was on that election meeting that stood up, and it was the oldest of our board. It's this guy, Senor Manel. He stood up, he's like, I'll be the 6th person on the board. So it's like everything happens for a reason, man. And you know what? We love it. Every day, as stressful as it can be, or as hard as it can be, or as much work as it's gonna, we love it. And I think being able to be in a position to give the opportunities to other people is just what's gonna make it like different, dude. I don't think everyone our age is around. They just have no reason to come here.
Yeah,
you start giving people reasons to come here, they'll come here.
Yeah, I think that's with every club in Connecticut.
With a big reason, as you can see, we have this board.
Yeah.
As you guys know, this pandemic has been really screwing with everybody with all these festas, and so now Andre had the idea of why not doing Portugal Day weekend. Since Lamont is opening up the restrictions of everything, and since this party would be outside, I feel like that would be easier if it were to like be an inside festa type of thing. So do you want to explain any details about it?
I guess, listen, we don't know what's gonna happen yet because we're waiting until the 19th.
Has Lamont like lifted, or
you have to wait until the 19th?
Yeah, Wednesday, and it looks like it's gonna be what everyone is already thinking it's gonna be. I really hope so.
Well, he already said vaccinated people can be outside, inside, whatever, like maskless, and then the other people or whatever.
So that's already, like, I had people, I didn't know until a little while ago, because I had people just asking me, like, oh, so no mask now? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I went on my phone and I looked it up. I'm like, oh, damn. I didn't know.
So
I was like, all right.
So because of that, what is the restrictions that you guys will be reinforcing in that day for people?
The only thing we're going to be reinforcing is whatever we have to reinforce with the state. And, they do the COVID vaccines here, which I think has helped a lot with the reputation of the building, because even tomorrow they're doing vaccines and they're going to start doing it for the 12, 15-year-olds.
What days are
So
open?
It's only once a month. It's Saturday. So they did one clinic already, and now they're doing the second clinic. Tomorrow's the first vaccine, and then the second one is going to be actually on June 5th.
Oh, that's perfect. You get a vaccine, you just start drinking.
So if people come in, and you can get the first dose, even though it's like, you get the first dose tomorrow, and then you get the second dose. Then if you didn't get the first dose this week, you get it there, and then you can go to one of their other locations or whatever and get it, as long as it's the same vaccine. So we were like, we even talked about, like, dude, let's do it on this Saturday, because it'll bring people in, and then people will stay and hang out. So the idea right now, we're preparing for, like, 2,000 people or whatever, like what it usually is. What we're not going to do this year is we're not going to do the second week. So usually we do one Portugal Day, right? It's that Sunday, and then the following week they usually do the Santos Populares. But because there's just a lot going on, like, I know that Portugal Day in Newark is the following week, and there's a bunch of different things starting to pop up. We said we'll do just some smaller events in the back for that next weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll figure out something, like, I want to do brunches every Sunday, so that Sunday will be like a brunch and like a family lunch or whatever, and then Saturday we'll figure out something, and Sunday, like, we're kind of just figuring it along the lines to call the younger crowd in. And then for this weekend will be like Portugal Day on Sunday, but since there's no Portuguese Day parade, we're trying to figure out. Actually, I know you guys have, because Hartford is the 5th, right? I think Hartford's doing it the 5th, and I think Mineola's doing it the 6th, right?
I'm unsure on that one. I'll be honest. I could figure it out.
Yeah, somebody was telling me, because again, it's tough. I want to have ranchos here. I don't know who's dancing, and we had talked about it before.
I'll fill you in on that one after.
Let me know, because, dude, I want to bring concertinas. I want to bring ranchos. I'm thinking about calling one of the Spanish clubs to bring the gaitas falls, and like just filling up that time with different activities for those 2 days. And then again, we're still just waiting for Wednesday so I can start calling, either a band or DJs or whatever, because I don't know. Why am I going to get a band if they can't dance?
Right.
If we can dance now, we can get a band. So we're planning like full out, everyone outdoors, the same thing we do every year with the tents and stuff. And I think it's going to go really well. Like, I think people miss going outside, and we're just trying to go all out with it. So
yeah, and that was the thing. It's I believe it was our first or second episode. We're literally saying, if you guys have parties, and I'm not just talking about to him, I'm talking about to you guys as well. If you guys have parties, big events, se festas da bola, se da Academia do Bacalhau, festas de Portugal, Santos Populares, tudo em geral. mande-nos uma mensagem no Facebook ou no Instagram. É Tasca Lusa, só que o último A é um 4. Se quiserem nos mandar mensagens com informações mesmo de folclores, tudo o que seja preciso, não hesitem. Podem nos mandar uma mensagem. And like you said, it's nice. I really hope government will be like, yeah, vamos pra festa.
I think you guys got to take advantage of getting that advertisement time, because once they start charging, forget it. You know what I mean? And it looks like it's on the way. Dude, I'm telling you, I think you guys are going to do really well. And I support it all the way. Anything we can ever do, I'll be here to,
But it sounds like you're not just inviting Portuguese people as well. I think you're inviting other communities as well, because this is a big club. And I'm going to advertise you a little bit. Like, you guys have an outside field. You guys have an indoor field. You guys have a tiny gym, I believe, right?
Yeah, there's a workout room.
You guys have a little library. Technically two restaurants in a way.
Conference room.
You guys have that bar downstairs that is going to be awesome if this gets uplifted. So it's
going to be nuts. Like, we're getting ready for a wave. Like, this whole week I've been training the staff because we're getting ready for a big wave. Like, the week after Portugal Day, we have a Brazilian concert upstairs.
That's awesome.
So hopefully, if all the rules break through. So it's like, yeah, man. There's a lot that's going to happen.
Honestly, and me and you have spoken this. I believe I told Marco as well. The only thing that sucks about this club, and it's not the club itself, it's the location that's a little bit hidden.
Yeah, because there's like no sign on the road.
Because there's no eye on the road, exactly. So it's like, if I didn't know, I would have missed it. I would have gone straight ahead.
Dude, there's a lot of Americans that have been coming to like the soccer games and stuff, and they say the same thing. They're like, we didn't know this was here. There's this big stigma that you have to be Portuguese to be a member, which is not true. I think what happened was, and this kind of goes back to what you're saying about inviting other people, you have to. Not just because of anything financial, but that's the only way the building is going to have like more support from the community to have. And this is for every club. I don't think it's just the Portuguese club.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a way to make the older generation that wants their space for cartas and football and everything, you know what I mean? And that's what I love too. And then there's another way to also bring the younger crowd in, listen to them, talk to them, bring them into the meetings and get them involved. And if anybody thinks it's impossible, look at what we're doing here and look at what you guys are doing. And it's like, you have to bring other people. There's a fear. I think there's a fear. And I don't know if it's just with this club or with a lot of clubs. A lot of people fear change because they think that they're going to get that little bit that they have left of the tradition taken away from them. But, I mean, at least for me, this club is going to stay what it is, Portuguese, and the food and the culture and, events that are Portuguese. But that doesn't mean you can't, you
can't invite any other nationality.
You can't do other things. Why not? You know what I mean? Like,
it's word of mouth. I mean, the more people that come here, they're going to be like, oh, I went to here, the food was good, blah, blah, blah. It's just the word of mouth is what really just is going to keep everything alive. Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Our goal for this year as a board, actually, too, is, after we kind of have everything running back to normal with the events and stuff, one of the things we've always wanted to do, and we talked about this in the beginning, is we want to be able to go to every other club and just go have dinner, hang out,
like a social thing.
Yeah. And then invite them here and just be like, you guys want to come have dinner? And then every 6 months do a big convivio upstairs or whatever and offer, lunch or dinner and do like how we do our, men's and women's dinners, just a dinner between all the organizations from the club.
That's smart.
I mean, it's not impossible, you know what I mean? Because
not at all.
It's like, for example, I know Hartford's situation, and it sucks. And I've actually been meaning to contact them because I want to try and do a fundraiser dinner here to see what we can do. I mean, I did hear that there's something going on with the building is, I think going to be closing down or something, or they're holding on.
So I know they had a meeting. I can give enough information.
Yeah.
Just because I honestly don't know the whole information.
No, that's all right.
I know they had a meeting about a month ago, where they were gonna decide whether to keep the building and rebuild it or find another location. I don't know what was the outcome of it, but regardless, I just hope something happens because there is a strong community up there.
Dude, if you hear anything, let me know because that's one of the things that I have to do too is I have to contact them because I want to get, some kind of fundraiser, dinner or event.
Yeah. And they're just like you guys now. They have a really young board as well. Like I know Jonathan, know Jeff and all that, and I'm not going to give out last names.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
So like, I know it's a young community and they're trying. They really are. And I see it and all that credit is and like all they're doing is noticed. So I know they're gonna make it. I really do.
I think so. I think there'll be a way, and whatever we can do to help. Again, like I said, do some kind of fundraiser with them. Even now with the summer, I'll take advantage of outside. Like the parking lot's huge. We can do something, soccer game fundraiser or something like that. There's a bunch of ideas. So
got a bunch of tournaments, soccer tournaments.
That's smart.
Because dude, imagine now you're inviting. Because I don't know how you guys do it, but like if you invite a bunch of soccer fans and soccer players and like teams overall, at the end of the day, they're going to be hungry after the game. See, Marco got here. He's hungry now.
That's what I've been starting.
I haven't eaten it either.
Yeah, I went to the gym.
Exactly. So like, I feel like if you get a good amount of teams, like even if there's a tournament, like a winning prize tournament, and I'm giving out ideas because my mind is constantly racing.
He's a president. That's why.
So even if you throw out like a money prize of like $1,500, like for that team, even if they don't win, they're gonna come here. They're gonna eat.
And drink.
Yeah.
Drink. And dude, they're probably going to get blasted and stuff like that. So, like, now you're showing off your field. They know they could come and rent the field. Mm-hmm. So, the club is making money. So, it's because it does take money to keep this club running.
Well, yeah, of course.
And now that's word to mouth. So, let's just say you have 5 teams. Next year, you might have 10. And it multiplies. And now this is constantly making money, and same thing with indoor soccer. People love indoor. People love futsal.
Yeah.
If you get like to the point. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like if you get a futsal goal out there, I don't know if you guys have
like those little nets.
Those are little nets. You kill them, presta.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they're still there.
But if you get like a futsal goal, like the actually goals itself, 2 of them, you could have shit ton of tournaments.
I think we do have the small ones. I think they're in the back hallway. I don't know why they use the little ones, but we have tonight there's always the older teams. Now it's kind of more mixed that always play the members. We have this, so we have a good collaboration with, because last year they didn't have anywhere to play, and we were able to kind of like offer them the space. Yeah. And they were really happy with us, AC Connecticut, and Kevin Malta's on the board and he's involved with them, and Steve Carneiro was involved with them before as well, and he's still involved, but he was on the old board and was involved with them, and we were able to talk to them, and they come here. Like, dude, we have like 100 people that are going to be outside. They're doing kickball. You know what I mean? Wow. Every Friday.
That's cool.
And then they have the games. Like for Portugal Day weekend, I think they're going to have both days just playing games. And it's all younger kids and camps and stuff like that. And it starts bringing in those people. But then there's other opportunities to be able to do, like you're saying, bigger tournaments with,
Yeah, dude, even like... Sorry, now it's just going on a roll. Yeah. Even if you have like... Let's just say you have a young team, like
me. You will make a team.
Like for this, fuck it.
You'll be the guarda-redes.
No, I'm saying you gotta fazer o coach. Amarin 2.0 right here.
Yeah.
No, but bring like young kids, like 4 or 5 year olds, like a U9 or whatever. And now the Portuguese community itself is gonna bring the kids here. Now you guys have a team. The parents that obviously have to come to keep an eye on the kids. Now they have a place where they could socialize.
Yeah,
it's just smart. Like you guys have the facility, you guys have the space. Dude, people will come.
Every club, I think, people want to be there. You just have to
push them.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell them like.
Same thing with the indoor. It's like, hey, não és membro, tens que pagar $5 por hora.
Yeah, we do
that's
different
always
rates,
put
like
on.
rental rates and
Like,
stuff.
yeah, like the rental rates type of thing. And like obviously have someone at the door to check in. And like if you're a member, just scan it. If you're not a member, hey, toca aqui pagar.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, we've gotten a lot of, thankfully, I think the vaccines have helped us. We've gotten a lot of new members because of a lot of like people that come in to do the vaccination. They don't even know what they're going. And then they get here and they're like, damn, and then they start finding out and then they sign up and, it is what it is. I just want to see it be what it was. Like, I don't, the one thing that drives me is like, I hate that people think it's dying and it's not. You know what I mean? That it pisses me off when people say, oh, já estamos todos velhos e os novos não querem fazer parte de nada. I'm like, that's your mentality.
You hear that all the time in every club.
That's your mentality. That's why things slow down. You can't think like that. You have to force yourself not to think like that. But dude, trust me, like, look, you guys are always involved. You play, you dance, He plays. Well, he plays. Well, you play a little bit. I saw last time. Yeah, that dude. Listen, I couldn't keep my hands up last time when you guys were here. Oh, yo, you have no idea what happened after that day. Half the people because we kind of had to just kind of do it as a small thing. Yeah. We couldn't invite a lot of people. Half the people were mad at me because I didn't tell them about it, and I'm like, well, I couldn't have
so many people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
And then the other half kept bothering me. When can you do it again? When can you do it again? I'm like, look, I don't know. I have to like, they loved it. They were so happy. And I think it brought a lot of people back to like feeling, like you were saying, being nostalgic of being in Portugal.
But that's the thing. And like, imagine like, I for example, myself, if I go to a club and nothing is happening, vou ver a bica
e vou-me embora.
Bebo a minha cerveja ou a minha água de freeze e meto-me embora. Agora, tu tens ali, tens um pouco de música, isso, aquilo é uma alegria. Um gajo puxa. Dude, I don't play, they play. Mas se eu não os conhecesse e se eu tivesse um grupo de amigos comigo e se eu tivesse um baralho de cartas e ouvir a música no background, desculpem.
Trufo é paus.
O trufo é paus. Automaticamente o trufo é paus. Joga uma suecada e está despachada. Or even dominoes, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, I've gone the love to play dominoes now, and even sueca, dude. Like, we actually do, we call ourselves Tasca Lusa, but sometimes during the summer, like on a Thursday night, a random Thursday night. Oh, vamos ali ao talho, vamos buscar um bocado de picanha, um bocado de umas febras, cortamos ali chap, picadinho, estamos a comer, estamos a ouvir música, estamos a jogar sueca.
Yeah, that's it.
Entre quatro, we literally did that every week last summer.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice.
Era um calor do caraças por causa da umidade, mas welcome to Connecticut.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying about that futsal, not for nothing, like if I had friends that wanted to play futsal, dude, I'd make the drive from Naugatuck.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to finish that because you're like, if I had friends. You have friends?
If I had friends.
If they play futsal, like, I don't know, but.
Because, okay, me and Joel, 2 people. Fabio lives in Jersey.
We have Charlie. Then we have Andre.
I haven't seen Charlie. How's Charlie?
He's Charlie.
It's Charlie.
Está
casado quase.
Okay, you have them, maybe Frank. But no.
Maybe Frank and his brother Tiago.
Maybe. You have Brian. But this is the thing. It just can't be one team. You know what I mean?
And now they bring some other team from here, and now we're playing against them. And on. And that's where it goes.
Yeah. Like if because I live like
you know what,
I live like 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Vamos fazer isto. A próxima vez, buscamos para aí uns 5 ou 6. Vamos jogar a bola aqui.
Dude, I would listen.
Bro,
I would make the drive to come up because I'm like 45 minutes away, almost an hour. I'd make the drive up every if it's like an every week thing to like
even if it's like a once a month
thing, just to decompress out of like the work week or the whatever. Dude, I'd make the drive just to play.
Eu estou gordo, eu preciso de suar.
Yeah, man.
Aquilo Caralho, já está cansado.
But it's got to be futsal because out there it's too much running. I don't do that much. I don't do that much.
You probably give a handball thinking it's ultimate frisbee.
I'm skinny, but I can't.
Yeah,
Dude, but like
I'm not used to it.
Honestly, we know the people. We just gotta make
you
sure
know
they-
the people. I don't know.
I just gotta
Bro.
make sure they get their asses to
We
the
can
game.
order-
you can even get people from New York, dude.
That's what I was thinking. Marcel, João, both Cardozo brothers,
Yeah.
Elder, and all that. Dude.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm
Honestly,
telling you,
they'll make
I'm
the
just,
drive.
I'm trying to just get like some things here ready to go so that I can start going to all these places, man. Because like I see sometimes on Facebook and like some of the activities, I'm like, shit, I want to be there, but I can't because I have to, do stuff
Right.
here. Once like we don't have to be here as frequently. Every Friday I'm going to a different club. Every Friday I'm going to go to a different club.
Even if it's like a girls' boys team, like that could work.
Or whatever.
I know
Whoever
a lot of,
wants to play, dude. Whoever wants to play.
I used to know a lot of skilled girls that know how to play soccer.
It's whoever wants to play, dude. Boy, girl, whatever. You could be mixed teams. You could do separate, like you
absolutely.
said. Dude, I'd
Nos
make
dan
that,
porrada.
dude. I'd make that drive. To be honest,
honestly, same.
because it's
Well,
it's,
you
in
know what?
it's in between New York. It's in between.
Agora fizeste uma ideia. Tomorrow já tá. Text message.
Everybody,
Volta.
you're gonna
Dude.
text everybody.
You let me know. I'll start getting some people from here, and we can start planning that out, bro. I'm
Like it doesn't
telling
even
you.
have to be. Like
I can even organize it where like everyone that comes to play, because it'll probably be
Yeah,
after work
right.
and stuff. We can come up with something where everyone chips in
for dinner.
and we do a dinner
Yeah,
for everybody.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Why
know
not?
what I mean?
Do you wanna like advertise a little bit? What could people expect when coming to Danbury Portuguese Club?
The show's yours now.
The show's yours.
Fuck. Mine.
Forza.
Oh yeah, right. Mine.
Just let the people know what they could expect from here. What do you guys have upstairs? You guys actually have an elevator and all that. Let the people hear what you could.
Well, the first thing they can expect is that they can expect to have a good experience. That's what I want. Everyone that comes here, whether it's for the first time or for the 10th time or every day, I want everyone to leave here feeling like they were taken care of. And we're working on that. It's tough because, we're still all trying to get back to normal, but I want everyone to feel like that. In terms of like actual things going on, dude, I'm open to every idea because I want this to be the people's house. Like, this is our house. This is everyone's house. It's not one person. It's not one business. It's not one group. This is the members' house. And to bring in people, especially the Portuguese people, to bring them in and have them feel like, damn, I like being here. And I'm not trying to take away from any other club. Don't get me wrong. I want to even work with all the other clubs. I just want people to feel like when they're here and whatever activity is going on, whether it's Portugal Day, whether it's a Brazilian Festa upstairs, which I think if that concert goes through, I don't know who it is. The guy didn't tell me. But, the guy Shrina does a pretty good job. He's been doing a lot of concerts here. So there's going to be a lot of those activities, and we're going to be doing brunch. We're going to be doing the esplanada outside. We're trying to get stuff done for maybe Friday nights and Saturday nights, doing like a more,
Even Sunday mornings, do a nice brunch.
Yeah.
Dude, brunch will bring a lot of people coming.
Especially right after the misa.
Oh, yeah.
Count me in. Mimosas.
I mean,
Dude, it's going to be...
Yeah, but you have a salon upstairs.
Yeah.
How many people fit in it?
600 seated
wow.
at full capacity.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
It's a lot of people.
I've gone here for Quimbarreiros, Augusto Canário, and I feel like there's a lot more.
You want to hear a funny story about Quimbarreiros?
I was here.
My favorite music artist. You were here for the last one? Dude,
For both.
now I'm gonna put myself on the spot. Quimbarreiros was like the first artist I knew. Like when I was 4, I was listening to the cassettes in Portugal. I knew everything. I knew more than I should have known. And the first time I got to meet him was, I don't remember, but he came here like 12 years ago or something like that. And I was young, so I was there for the music, and then I just ran off to go play soccer. My mom had the chorus at the time, so they did a show opening up for him. And he somehow remembered her when they came back, like in 2000.
A couple of years ago.
I'm going to say 2015 or so.
Something like that.
Something like that. Because I remember he came, and I was super excited. I was like, yeah, I'm going. And I was older, so I was like, I don't know, 22 or something like that. And then I remember you know, I waited until I, you know, got to meet him to drink. Yeah, I was like, no, I can't look stupid, you know. Oh, this is a really messed up story.
Go on.
So he, you know, at the time I was doing music, and my mom was like, I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm like, tu estás maluco, okay? I'm not gonna. And then she's like, no, watch. So she goes, she's like, oh, Mr. Kimberrader, my son does music and this and that and blah blah blah.
Mister.
Yeah,
Gassing you up.
Well, no, she was like, Mr. Kimberrader, you know.
Yeah, gassing you up.
Yeah, and then she's like, come here. I was like, And so he was like, pá, então dizem que faz música, não sei o quê. I was like, yeah, qualquer coisa assim, this and that. And he goes, olha, actually, let me see if I still have the card. I might have it here. Hold on. You can hear the papers. You can hear all my broke status. Oh, dude, if I have it here, forget it. It'll blow my mind. Oh, I don't have it here.
You have a fake wallet, dude.
Yeah, this is
that president money.
Actually, the secretary gave me this wallet. Ruben gave me this wallet. Thank you, Ruben. I'm broke, so I don't have it here. But you're gonna have to believe me. So he gives me a card that's in black and white, and I have it at home still, with his face on it, and it says, you know, cell phone, telemóvel, and he goes, chama-me. And I was like, all right. That same night, they finished their show. I think they had a DJ after. I mean, I got lit at the bar. I was like, you know, oh, this is fun. I got to meet Kimberrader. He gave me his number. Yeah.
I was lit too, dude.
You're
bro,
cogged.
I was like,
I was gone. I played concertina with him.
Do you know
Cocked.
Oh, so you were here playing with him.
He put his hat.
Him and Cherry ended up playing with him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He put his hat on my head. I was like, I'm never leaving this down.
Dude.
Never washing my hair again.
Listen to this. I was so happy. I came to the bar. And I was actually surprised because, you know, he's Kimberrader. And the bar was busy.
Yeah.
He's eating with this band in the bar. And I was like, I'm going to go talk to him. I went up to him, like, sludged, bro. Sludged. I went up to him. And this was before I was bald.
I forgot you had hair.
Yeah, bro. It was before I was bald. I remember this. And I remember I sat down with him. And he was, I went up to him like, oh, Mr. Kim, slurring my, dude, like all over the place. Like mentally I was there, but I was just, and he goes, senta aí, como umas bifanas, pá. And I'm about to like start doing this whole spiel about, you know, working with him or whatever. Messed up, bro. I swear, I shit you not, I'm not lying. And they kicked me out. Yeah, they saw me and they're like, tu estás com uma pouca vergonha, vai-te embora, whatever. So I went home. I was embarrassed.
Estavas com uma cadela.
Listen to this. 2 years later, when I went to Portugal in 2016, so he came in like 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came in 2014 or whatever, 15.
Yeah.
And then I went right after to Portugal because it was like a year after he was here. I went to Salto. He went to go play in Salto, and he played the same 3 CDs that he sold here, so it wasn't anything new. But I bought the same 3 CDs just to go talk to him. And the whole time I was like, yo, I gotta
Lembras quando tinha cadela?
Yo, yeah, dude. I went up to him. I was the first one in line, and he was just there, bro. He was just like, after the stage, he was just chilling. And we still have a group picture with everyone from my aldeia with him. It was like 40 people. And I went to him, and I'm like, oh, Kim, eu tenho que lhe pedir desculpa. And he looked at me like, por quê? Você lembra-se quando foi aos Estados Unidos, a Danbury? He goes, yeah, lá no centro do Danbury. Yeah, lembro. Você lembra-se que o moço foi se sentar convosco ao bar? And he looked at me and goes, He goes,
yeah, because now you're bald then.
And he was like, and I was like, opá, tenho que lhe pedir desculpa, já estou com isto no peito há muito tempo. Ele disse, isso acontece a qualquer this and that. And then I pulled out the card and I was like, você deu-me destes? And at that time I was still trying to do music.
Right.
He goes, tens desses? And I was like, yeah. He's like, eu disse, tive vergonha de ligar por causa daquela cena. And he goes, não tenhas vergonha. But then I came back and I didn't.
Yeah.
He came back in October that year. I got back in September. My mom goes, Kimberrader is coming back to the club.
Talking about
What the? We sat right by the stage. When he walked in, bro, he went up on stage And he looked at me like this. And then he did a show. And after, I went up to him and I go,
Lembras de mim, caralho?
ó, senhor King, você lembra-se de mim lá de Salto? He goes, fogo. Eu entrei aqui, vi a tua careca, conheci-te logo de uma vez. Eu disse, foda-se, dude. I was like, you're gonna tell me this is how this guy remembers me for the rest of his life, bro? I swear.
That light start beaming
yo.
onto your head. Forget about it.
And I still have the card, and I still never called him, bro. I'm like, but now if he ever comes back to the United States, and oh, senhor King, lembra-se do carequinha?
Metes bocado de index na cabeça,
Yeah.
até brilha. Né?
Fica tudo brilhante. Olha, preciso que você venha cá fazer um show. Dude, it was insane.
I remember when I played with him. I was blessed. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was playing, and then apparently Jerome was telling me that at one point Keem wanted to stop, but I just kept playing. And I was like, I was just.
I remember that.
Quando aquele bicho vai nascer a cabeça, aquilo vai para cima. Tu tens que parar. You were so cocked. I think Sherry ended up stopping, and you kept going.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. Yo.
Honestly, he's such a great entertainer. I just like how he enters with no hat just because. And then he goes, eu não posso fazer o show sem o meu chapéu.
Oh.
Grabs hat.
I
Pam.
remember that.
That's great.
Legendary.
And that was the year he got jumped, no?
Yeah, that was the year he ended up getting a black eye, and he made a song after it.
Yeah.
Good
Dude,
for him.
yo.
Good for him.
What a small
He
world.
got jumped in. He got jumped
Yeah,
in Newark.
I remember. It happens.
Dude, what a small world. I'm telling you.
Anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah. Like I said, I just made our first Instagram account. We're on the we're in the works of possibly making it live here in Portugal Day. That Sunday, June 6th. And honestly, guys, just again, if you want to come up to us, message me, Marco, Joey. You could chat on could go on our Instagram direct messaging. Let us know what you have going on. Follow us in all platforms in YouTube, TikTok, como Marco diz.
Yo, tuk-tuk.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. And thank you, Andre, for having
you guys,
some of your
man.
time.
This is awesome. And that story that you said that this had to do with me, I was like, you're out of your mind, bro. Really?
What the fuck, guys?
I'm here to support and everything I can, and not just because of being president. Like you guys know, I'm the same
You're
person.
generally a nice guy. Yeah, you haven't changed.
Good dude.
I don't know if I'm nice. I know I didn't change, but
you have a good heart. You have good intentions.
Good, man.
That's,
It's good. That goes
faço
a long way.
posto enquanto estou cá.
Fuck it, dude.
that's it.
Well, guys, that wraps it up. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, listen in on tomorrow after 7 or at 7. If you guys want to check out the last podcast, it's up. It's episode 9. You have Joey's dad. You have to listen. You guys have to listen to it. It's an amazing podcast. It's insane.
Yeah, about that one. If you guys want to watch the movie for 25 de Abril, be educated by it. The movie is called Capitães de Abril.
And it's on Facebook on Tasca Lusa.
I shared it on Tasca Lusa.
So if you guys want to check that out, go to Facebook. You can join our group on Tasca Lusa, and then you can just watch it there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we'll see you next week, and
Chaleira.
peace out, dude.
Dude, this is all.